Alright guys, this is Unit 1, Formative 1, 1.5/1.6, operations with integers. So we're going to be talking about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers today. Okay, this is a standard number line right here. And this one goes from -5 to +5, but we usually think of it starting at 0, where the positive numbers are on the right, as you can see, and then the negative numbers are on the left. Okay, so one thing to remember with negatives is that if you have like -3, that's going to be greater than -4 because it's not as negative. Okay, so let's look at number 1 here. If we have 1 plus 2, we all know that 1 plus 2 equals 3, right? But how do we get there? Well, if we start at 1 on our number line, and we add 2, that means going to the right 2 spots, we end up at our 3. Okay, so that's why 1 plus 2 equals 3. Look at number 2, 4 plus a -3. Well, here we're going to start at 4, and when we add a negative number, that means we go back, or to the left, 3 spots in this case. So 1, 2, 3 will put us at 1. Okay, so 4 plus a -3 would equal 1. Okay, number 3, we have -2 plus 1. So here we're starting at -2, -2 plus a -1. And so we will be going to the left again, 1 spot, and there you see we end up at -3. So -2 plus a -1 equals -3. Okay, let's try a few where we have to add and subtract. If you want to use the number line, that's fine. I'm not going to use it any longer. Hopefully we can try to wean you off of that here in the next couple days. But if you need it, that's totally okay. Alright, so number 1, -3 plus 4. That's like starting at -3 and going to the right 4 spots. Okay, so -3 plus 4 is actually going to be 1. Alright. Number 2, 4 plus a -6. Here we're starting at 4, and we're going to the left 6 spots because it's negative. Okay, and so this one is going to actually be -2. A little trick here is you can see that the 6 is bigger than 4, right? And it's also negative in this case, so our answer is going to be negative. All right, number 3, -3 plus a -7. Well, what if you owed me $3 and then you asked for 7 more? Then you would owe me $10. So this would be -10 because you'd owe me $10 now, or $10 in the hole, $10 negative. Okay. Number 4, 2 minus 4. Well, here we're starting at 2, and again we're going to the left 4 spots, and so this would put us at -2. Okay, and number 5, 4 minus a -6. Here, if a minus and a negative are right next to each other, like you see here, it actually turns positive. So this becomes like 4 plus 6, which we all know is 10. Okay, now let's work with multiplying and dividing integers. These are a little bit easier, and there's 3 different cases. Okay, if you have 2 positives being multiplied or divided, though the answer will be positive also. If you have 2 negatives, they kind of cancel each other out, you might think, and then that is also positive. But if you have 1 negative and 1 positive, then our answer turns negative. Okay, so if we look at number 1, that falls into that third case where we have 1 negative and 1 positive. We have -2 times 8. Remember, use the dot for our time symbol. So 2 times 8 regularly is 16, but here we have a negative, so we know our answer has to be negative, so we have -16. Okay. Number 2, -3 times a -5. Well, here we have a negative and a negative. So 2 negatives, think positive. So regular 3 times 5 is 15. So -3 times -5 is also 15. right? Negative 84 divided by 14 for number 3. Well, can't use calculators, so if we do the long division here, if we put 14 into 84, how many times does that go? Well, let's try 5. And that's 270. Oh, we're a little bit off yet, aren't we? So you can see if we add another 14, we should get there. So let's just double check if we do it with 6. 6 times 14 is 24. Yes, that works, doesn't it? So 6, but we have one negative and one positive. We have negative 84 divided by positive 14. So this has to be a negative 6. Okay, don't forget that negative. And then number 4, we have negative 39 divided by negative 13. Okay, if we do our long division, 13 goes into 39. Let's say 3 times 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. Perfect, okay? But here we have a negative and a negative. Remember, 2 negatives make a positive. So our answer is still 3. All right, that's it for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers. We will see you tomorrow.